Hello, welcome back. Hammers Poles Full Squad Player Ratings 2020-2021, and I am joined by James from the Anvil. How are you, James?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
I'm good. Good man, good man. Let's get into it then. Let's start off
Mhm.
with this man, Fabianski.
Been excellent. I think all season. He's been a good goalkeeper. I would give him out of 10. I'd probably give him a 7 out of 10.
Mm.
Because he's kept us in games so many times, made big saves when he's needed to. I think he kept about 7 clean sheets this season, which
Mm.
wasn't too bad. And he's just been a solid goalkeeper despite having to be relied on quite a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you there, mate. I really do. I think he's been pretty solid, really. He's not amazing, but not poor. I think he's just been solid.
Yeah.
Mr. Randolph,
Well,
he come in.
yeah, he's been called up when he's needed to be called up. So he's done all right job as well. I'll probably give him, well, not as much as Solianski. I'll give Randolph a 6 out of 10 because he's come up, because it would be unfair to give him less than half marks. When he was called up against games such as Everton and West Brom, he really stepped up to the mark and won both of those games, didn't we? So yeah, he gets 6 out of 10 from me.
Yeah, I think he's done all right, Randolph. I think
Yeah.
people give him a bit of stick, really, and like even in the West Brom game, people were saying it was his fault, and really, he actually kept us in the game at one stage. But people forget that. But I agree with you totally there, Mr. Kafal.
8 out of 10 for him. I think he's been one of probably our signing of the season. Well, actually, no, definitely our signing of the season for what he cost, and he's become one of the best right backs this season just gone. Very attacking, very strong tackler, very good player. He's never disappointed me in a game he's played so far. I've never had to slag him off any game that he's played for us. So I'm going to give him 8 out of 10.
What would it be to get a 9 or a 10, in your opinion?
Oh, he just needs to take his chances more when he's in the box. Actually shoot and not be so hesitant.
Yeah. I can't not agree with you on that. I mean,
Yeah.
Mr. Fredericks.
Well, he was all right as a winger in the game against Aston Villa, but not as a right back. He's not good. I'm going to give him maybe 5 out of 10, just because he had a couple decent games on the wing, but not as a solid right back. He shouldn't be starting right back option.
Yeah, it's an hard one with Fredericks because I only see him in one position, and I don't see him as a right back. I think Kafal's come in, done a great job. Great job in that position. Do I see him as a wing back? Yeah, but I think we can get better wing backs than him, if that makes sense, at right back.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, I agree, mate. What was your rating for him?
I give him 5.
So it's like a standard 5.
Standard.
Mr. Ben Johnson.
Can't be too harsh on Ben Johnson because he's still got a lot to learn. He did score his first Premier League goal this season. Do I trust him to play as like a wing back or a left back or a right back? Kind of. But I think Ben Johnson, the reason I'm going to give him a 5 is because he's been all right this season, but he's still got a lot to learn. But he's young, so obviously he's going to learn a lot more along the line. Not a terrible season for him, though.
Yeah, but would you say, though, James, he's been... how can I put it? He hasn't been playing in his natural position.
Well,
he's been playing left back when he's right-footed. He's played defensive midfield. Like he's played everywhere along the. Like he's played right back, right wing, left back, left wing back. Like, would he get a better rating if he was playing as a right back? In your opinion?
I'm not even sure. I don't know if what his natural position is. He's left back, isn't he? Is he right back?
He's a right back. Yeah.
Oh, that's why. Yeah. I mean, if he was playing at right back, we might be able to give him a better judgment. But he's been playing left back, and I suppose it's not his fault in a way because he has been played out of position. So it's one of them things.
Yeah. Cresswell.
Oh, this is a good one because he's been excellent this season. He's led all defenders in assists in the Premier League. So far, was just behind him. Cresswell's really stepped his game up. I think he's listened to some of the fans' criticism and taken it on board. Not necessarily for his defensive element, but his attacking element, I think, has been there. He's been able to get down the wings and get down the channels a lot more, put crosses in. He's been good with his set pieces. I'm going to give Cresswell 8 out of 10. I think he's been really good this season. I think what it has been is that Moyes had a system at Everton where he had attacking fullbacks with Lescott and Baines. He's doing that with Cresswell and Sofal. Look at the statistics to prove that.
Is it the best season that he's had at West Ham, in your opinion?
One of. I think his debut season was probably his best one, but he's one of his best seasons.
Yeah. Mr. Masuaku.
This is a tough one. It's a good start to the season. I think he had a very good start to the season, but he can't defend. That's the issue. He cannot defend. And whereas Cresswell could focus on defending when Masuaku was playing because Masuaku could go forward, Masuaku is not a natural left back because he can't tackle, he can't defend. He lets people get past him. So as a wing back, he's good. For Masuaku, this is a difficult one. I'm going to give him 6 out of 10 because he needs to improve that defensive element.
He has been here 6 years, isn't he? Or 5 years, or whatever you want to look at it.
Yeah.
He come here in the summer of 2015, I believe. And he hasn't. To me, I don't know about yourself, James, but he hasn't really improved, in my opinion. He's all right going forward, but defensively, he's all over the place.
He is.
What do you think?
Well, he has been. I think he's been looking to find some place in the starting lineup for starters because he's never really had consistent game time. Every manager we've had's hit and missed him. Moyes has given him a chance, so it's hard to really say. I think I have liked him at times, but it's bad that he's a defender and he can't defend.
Yeah, I think you summed it up brilliantly there, Mr. Dawson.
Ooh, this was a signing that a lot of fans slagged off. Where it was like, don't judge a book by its cover, because his debut was excellent. He started scoring headers. He got 3 goals in his first 15 games for us. Although I do like Craig Dawson, I think he has done a solid job as a defender. Very old school, very old fashioned. I think that we still need to get another centre back option in because Dawson's been a little bit hit and miss at times. There's been times he's made bad mistakes in games. He's looked off the ball. I would give Dawson a 6 out of 10, really, because he has been good, but he's not been great.
Yeah, I think he's done exactly what we expected him to do, if that makes sense. Obviously strong, steady, solid, nothing flamboyant. And, you know, I think a 6 out of 10 is a fair reflection on that.
Yep.
Mr. O'Bonnor.
Been our best centre back this season, but what's new? It's like he just gets better with age, O'Bonnor. I'm going to give him 8 out of 10 because he was fantastic. Solid leadership in the defensive core, solid tackling, tough player, physically strong. He scored a few goals this season with headers. O'Bonnor's been great this season. Yeah, 8 out of 10 for him.
8 out of 10 for O'Bonnor. Issa Diop.
I think he's clumsy for a start. He's athletic, but he's clumsy. And this is a tough one because I'm tempted. I don't know whether I give him a 6 or a 7. I'm going to lean more towards a 6 because I think he's made a few mistakes in games. The own goal against Newcastle was one that was absolutely ridiculously stupid. But he did
score. He did score in that game, though, James. He did. Yeah.
I was about to get onto that. Really, he's good at heading from set pieces. He's a tall defender who can head the ball from set pieces. I have been pleased with Diop in his set piece ability, but I haven't been impressed with him defensively overall. I think 6 out of 10 because he's made careless errors.
Do you think next season, if he don't improve next season, that he'll be sold?
Possibly, yeah.
I can see that coming. Because he's another one. He's a Pellegrini signing. He come here in 2018, August 2018, I think it was. And he's been here 3 years and all with 4 nails. And he needs to either needs to sort it out, or I think he's going to be gone. But this man is going, and he is gone now. Mr. Balbuena, the general. Give me a rating, James, of him as a whole at the club. Not so much this season, as a whole.
I think he's been all right, really. Balbuena. I don't really have anything bad to say about him. Good guy to be around. Good defender. Good leadership abilities, given that he was captain at Corinthians. He tried to bring that to West Ham. I think he really liked the club, and he scored some goals for us in games when it was needed, like Leicester away in 2018, the 1-1 draw, and scored in the 3-3 draw against Spurs, don't forget. So those goals he would have lost games. So he has scored some goals when need be, and he was just a good leader. He was a leader, really. He tried to form a good partnership with Diop, and then Ogbonna. Yeah.
Give me a rating, James.
6 out of 10, because he's not really started a lot of games and he's been coming off the bench a lot. But he did score against Spurs in that 3-3 draw. A little bit of credit's got to be given there. Yeah, fair. I'll give him 6 out of 10 because I don't really have anything bad to say about him.
Captain, leader, amazing. Declan Rice.
Right, yeah. 9 out of 10 for Declan Rice. Can't say, he's just been fantastic all season. He's embraced the captaincy role at a young age, and being captain at 22 years old, it shows how Mark Noble's put trust in his successor. Declan's resonated what the manager said on the pitch, and I think Declan Rice has been proven that he is the best defensive mid in the Premier League. It's not Kante, it's not Rodri, it's not that. It's Declan Rice, because what they don't have that he has is that he's. I won't even say he's a defensive midfielder. I'd say he's more of a central midfielder, because he has been. He likes to glide with the ball a lot when he runs. He glides with it. When he scored against
Southampton,
he's
box to box. I think he's more box to box. Yeah. And 9 out of 10 for him. What would it be for him to get a 10 out of 10, in your opinion?
Penalties, because that West Brom miss. That's a little harsh, but, just to get 10 out of 10, he would have... I don't know what you have to do at 10. The 9 out of 10 just seems fair, because...
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
Mr. Potato Salad.
Amazing season from him. He's not a defensive mid. He's more box to box, I would say. He's definitely box to box. 10 goals this season for a defensive someone who's naturally a defensive midfielder is excellent. Mainly from the heading, and he's a real diamond in the rough player, Souček. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10, because he wasn't better than Declan Rice, but he was just as good as Declan Rice as his midfield partner. So
was you concerned though, James, when Rice wasn't there? Souček wasn't the same player. He looked a bit lost.
Well, this is the thing, that is interdependence in the squad. I think what it is that when Declan Rice went down, Souček didn't have anyone to defend for him. So Souček had to go all defensive midfielder. It changed Souček's game, because he was a little bit poorer. He couldn't go forward as much.
Maybe. I think that's a fair assessment. Robert Snodgrass. He left in January. He signed for us. He left on loan. He come back. He was good. Now he's left permanently. Give me a rating of his overall time at West Ham, James.
Overall time at West Ham was good, not just for the stuff he did on the pitch, but off the pitch. He was really good at interacting with the fans. Did a lot for Isla's fund. I think he represented the club in a really good light. So as an overall rating, I think I'm going to give it 8 out of 10 for how he represented the club and how he really dug into the club. It took a while for him to get going, but when he started scoring a few goals, he put in some very good performances for us.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. Totally. He's a top man. Totally agree. Mr. Mark Noble, he come in for Rice. He plays as number 10 this year. What's your assessment, mate, on him?
Well, playing as number 10 was an absolute joke when he did, because that wasn't right. But as a holding midfielder, he was all right, I thought. I'd give Matt Noble a 7 out of 10, honestly, because when he was playing holding midfielder, he was really good, filling in for Declan Rice. Shame that he's leaving next season, but I think he's done all right this season. It certainly hasn't been bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Manuel Lanzini.
Well,
you either like him or you don't like him. I'm in the camp of I think he's all right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, mate?
I think he's all right. I mean, if he hadn't got that knee injury, it would have been quality. But now I think about Lanzini. I think what could have been like with if he hadn't knackered his knee up. I like Lanzini, man. I do like Lanzini. I think he's as a holding midfielder, he was all right for Burnley, working the ball from the back to the middle. Scored that goal against Spurs that had 2% chance of going in. Lanzini this season, I think I'd give him a 6 out of 10 because he has looked good at spells, but he hasn't started enough games and he hasn't done enough overall, bar that goal.
Yeah, I agree there. I think 6 is fair. I think 5's too harsh and 7's too big. Yeah. So, yeah. Mr. Pablo Fornals.
One of our most improved players this season. Another player that's taken some time to find his feet. But I think with Moyes' system, he's found his feet. He's been given a lot more freedom on the wing, between the wing and the attacking mid-roll. Fornals, he's not exactly a glamorous player to watch, but he knows where to be in the right place at the right time, whether it be for a pass, whether it be for a shot. I'm going to give Fornals a 7 out of 10. I think he's been great.
Do you think, though, James, he should be getting more goals and more assists, considering where he's playing?
That's why he gets 7, because he needs to take his chances more, not be so hesitant. Blast that one over his Spurs away. Missed in the West Brom game. Took them against Southampton, which was unexpected, but nice to see. He needs to take his chances more. He needs to take those chances. Yeah,
I agree. I 100% agree with you on that. Jared Bowen.
Oh, like him. Again, 7 out of 10 for him because he had a really good start to the season. He's never really disappointed me when he's played. Good attacker. Good at exploiting space. Good at cutting in from the box. Good left footer. A 7 out of 10 for Bowen. He also played striker as well, which was good. And he did well playing as a striker.
Do you think he did go a bit missing, though, halfway through the season? I don't know about you.
Yeah.
He went a bit sort of like he was in games, but he weren't in games. He was there, but he was like a passenger. What did you think of him when he was doing that, so to speak? Like when he was a bit hit and miss? Because I've seen him against Wolves this year. He's been phenomenal. And then against teams like Villa, he goes missing.
Well, I don't know, it's just maybe a little bad streak that he went on. Maybe he was too isolated. Playing as a striker, problem with us playing the one-striker system, it leads to striker isolated up top, as is the case with Antonio. So it wasn't really entirely Bowen's fault, but yeah, he did go missing for a little bit. That's why he gets 7.
7 for you. Jesse Lingard arrived in January.
Immediate impact he made. My brother actually texted me and said he's going to be shit for you lot. So I screenshotted that and sent it to West Ham images that precede unfortunate events. Well, fortunate events in this case.
Yeah.
But Jesse Lingard made a massive difference to that team. He and Ben Rama made that midfield really technical. I love Lingard. I think he's really bought into the club. He loves the club, and he's only there on loan because he talks about the club and, showing how much he loves West Ham. His daughter wearing the West Ham kit as well. Him with pictures overlooking the London Stadium. I'm going to give Lingard an 8 out of 10 because he has been phenomenal since he joined us.
What do you think of his last 5 games, though? It's been a bit quiet. Bit
quiet.
Yeah, not in it. Not the same player. Do you think like this inconsistency is coming through where it was at Man United, so to speak, where he sort of he was good. Like, don't get me wrong, when he first arrived, the first 10 games he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But the last sort of 5 games, he's been, I'll say another one who's been like a passenger, really. He's been there, but he ain't.
Yeah, I think a few players have done that this season, though, in all fairness. Might have just been a little blip. But he did get an assist quite recently. He got an assist in the game against West Brom to end that drought.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Mr. Ben Rama.
I know what you'd say about this. Ben Rama is, I would say, a player who's been dumped on the bench, but I think has started to win Moyes' trust. Well, in his last few games, he's got, 6 assists and a goal? So it's taken him that long to get going, but I'll give Benrahma I'd actually go as far as to give him an 8 out of 10 because I've been impressed with Benrahma every time he's played. Really bossed it against Leeds United when we played him away. Gets past players quite easily. Linked up well with Jesse Lingard. I like to say Benrahma a lot this season. I've been impressed with him. 9 out of 10. Sorry, 8 out of 10. 8.
Yeah. Yeah. Would I say an 8 for Benrahma? Probably not. I'll probably say a 7. I think he's been good. He could be better. He should be getting more chances. But one thing I will say with Benrahma is that the assists, he should have a lot more assists if our strikers knew how to put the ball in the net and not in the post. And there's been games this season where we've let games go where he should have 3, 4, 5 assists in the game at some stages. But yeah, I agree with you totally, mate. This man, Sebastian Haller.
Guess it didn't work out for him.
Yeah, he left in January, James. He won us a point against Palace and he scored the winner against Sheffield United away. So in the grand scheme of things, he's earned us 4 points this season, which has got us in the Europa League position. Give me a rating on his time at West Ham.
I don't think it's West Ham suits him. I think we paid too much for him for a start.
Yeah.
Which was wrong. It was only about 20 million when we paid 45 million. If he wasn't a 45 million pound striker, had a good start to life at West Ham, but since then he just struggled a lot. And I don't know what it is. I just don't think he suited West Ham. This league was probably too fast paced for him. And Ajax is probably, the Eredivisie is probably a better league for him because it's somewhere he can feel comfortable.
Yeah. So what's your rating for him then, mate?
6 out of 10 for Haller because he did, like you say, got them 4 points. So I can't really slag him for that.
Yeah. This man, Mr. Yarmolenko.
2 out of 10, and that's being generous. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Seriously, failed signing who had a lot of potential but kept getting injured. Don't really remember a hell of a lot of him, apart from a few goals last season. Thanks for Chelsea. Transfer Chelsea. Thanks for the brace against Everton in 2018, but he's got to go. Can't use both feet. Very stagnant with his left foot. He gets, in that Everton game when Yarmolenko came on, Luca Dean and Allen bloody closed him down all the time because they knew that he couldn't use both feet because he just uses one foot, and it's painful to watch. 2 out of 10 for Yarmolenko because he has not impressed me at all. Well,
I've done these player ratings, done about 3 or 4 of these player ratings now, and you've given the lowest one. So take a bow there, James. Do you know what I mean? Right, we're going to go Antonio, mate.
Oh, yeah. Antonio has been great when he's played for us, but I want to give him high. The reason I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 is because I've been a little bit disappointed in some of his movement off the ball. He's attacking the wings when he's not going straight. He should be going straight. And he's not good because he's not going straight. We're not being penetrative enough through the opposing centre-backs. But he has scored goals. He has been a very good player in this team. Don't get me wrong. He's 2 goals off of breaking PDC's Premier League record. So credit's due, credit's deserved. He has been great this season. 7 out of 10, but he needs to improve some of his off-the-ball movement.
GSB summer winter transfer windows.
Don't get me started with this. Oh my days. Summer was a piss take because the amount of players we got linked with. I think Moyes had good intentions to sign players, had good intentions to sign specific people, but the board let him down. That said, the 2 signings they made did end up, 3 if you count Dawson actually. The 3 signings they made ended up being quite good signings. Even if it was through that Will Salthouse geezer. The winter transfer window, getting rid of Haller, I think, was fine, but it was at the wrong time to do it because we needed at least 2 strikers. They shouldn't have probably sold him in January with no real replacement. Worst thing about that was as soon as the offer comes in, they just accepted it without negotiating it or trying to get it up or trying to say no. We bought Jesse Lingard in January, though, on a loan.
Yeah.
So, and he really, really was, and he's been really good. So I'm going to give them, it sounds harsh, but I'm going to give them a 4 out of 10 because of the amount of times they took the piss out of the manager and took the piss out of the budget and claiming poverty. But at the same time, the players they did bring in ended up being difference makers for us.
4 out of 10 from the Anvil. Right. And we're going to leave it on this one, James. This is the final one. The best performance of the season for you, mate.
Oh, I've got two. Leicester away and Villa away. Leicester away because we completely controlled that game and just dominated it from start to finish against a good Leicester side. And Aston Villa away because of how technically good that was.
Yeah. What player has given you the best performance of the season?
I would say probably either Dawson against Burnley, where I thought he was pretty solid, or Ben Rama versus Leeds is a good shout.
Yeah. What about Lingard versus Villa? What do you think of that one?
Yeah. Well, as I mentioned, that's why, because it was technical and it was a great debut from him.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. And that's it, James. Any final thoughts on like the season as a whole? And anything you want to sort of say, mate?
Well, I think the season's been a good one overall. We've exceeded expectations, and I just hope it's not a one-off. I don't think Moyes wants it to be a one-off, that's for sure. Apparently, we've got an £85 million budget. I'm not sure. X has somewhat confirmed that. Hopefully, Moyes gets what he wants in this summer, because he says he talks about wanting to build a young, hungry team. I think definitely I back him for that. So we'll see what happens over the summer. But I'm looking forward to next season already. You know, with the European tour, getting fans back in the stadium as well, and it's just going to be better times.
Who's your player of the year?
For me, player of the year, Declan Rice.
Yeah.
End of.
Yeah.
I don't really need to say why.
Yeah. Me personally, I've got to say Cathal.
He was my second choice.
Yeah, I know Rice has been good, and I love Rice. I think as a captain, the leader, he's first class. You've got a £5.4 million defender from the Czech league come over, and he's been one of the best right backs in the Premier League. And I just think, that is like rare, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But did I? I don't think I did. I do it. Did I do this one, James? I'm going to have to ask you. I don't think I did.
Oh, you didn't? So let's quickly do this. David Moyes has been excellent. His backroom staff deserve just as much credit as him, because they've all helped the team out, like Kevin Nolan, Stuart Pearce, Alan Irvine. Don't forget, they filled in while David Moyes was sick and got 2 results out of that. So they deserve credit. David Moyes, for me, is going to get a 7 out of 10. There have been some games where he's got it a bit wrong. Games where he's maybe made adjustments where not need be. But there's been games where he's been very brave with his tactics and it's paid off. You know, going 5 at the back against crappy teams and it still pays off. His backroom staff have been a credit, so they all get a 7 out of 10 because they've been excellent all season. He's built a really good team. He's built really good staff, and who knows? He can know where he can take us.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I really do. I think they've been absolutely phenomenal, and they've got Europa League football out of nothing, really. If I'm honest, they've made something out of nothing. And that brings an end to it, James. Like that is your player ratings for this season. It's been a good season. I want to thank you for coming on, mate. When you've come on different channel, different shows on Hammers Polls and all that, and hopefully next year, all being good, I'll get you back on again at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean? And I want to thank everyone for watching. Subscribe, like, share. That is James from the Anvil's player ratings. Follow him over on YouTube, Twitter, all of the social media outlets. And we're going on the European tour, James. So it's double shift next season, mate.
It is.
It's double shift. It's a Thursday, Sunday job, and a lot of it. So take care, all. Thanks for watching, and all the best.